Devil's rejects if there ever was any. Motherfuck. These guys. Oh, man. Man, Sultan, you really know how to pick them. These guys. I really hope you guys benefit from this stream. What's up, YouTube and TikTok, of course. So we're going to get started here. I'll do just a quick intro right now. I'm not streaming to any of the other YouTubes, so whatever, it's fine. We'll stream to these YouTubes. Okay, let's see. Yes. Okay, what's up, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube? We're here with Sultan, aka 45, who both of us live with AZD, as you may know, here at IMC Pegasus House in Las Vegas. I almost said San Jose right there. I was like, we're in Las Vegas. And just last night, we went to another show. We're doing a thing where we do this, we're going to all these shows on Sundays, usually, sometimes other days. And we bring dates. And sometimes guys go without dates, whatever. There's also a camera crew, the IMC stream team. They bring a couple cameras and kind of serve as bodyguards or whatever, keeping a buffer space, which is really nice. It's like a whole celebrity experience as we go through this casino and, do our thing. And so we're going to talk about, how we changed in our dating, gaming, whatever, our relationships. And, of course, I'm joined by Sultan, so he was there. He was one of the guys with dates. It was me, him, Wolf, and then AZD, us four had dates. And, right away, I'll start with the vehicle because only Sultan and I were in the vehicle as far as the guys that had dates. I guess AZD was there. And then, so Wolf was the only guy with the date that wasn't in the vehicle. And then I actually had my date with me in my vehicle as my main girl, so, she's going to come if I say come. And that's what it was. It was her birthday yesterday, actually. So there was no way to, I would have picked a different girl for going out with a stripper, which was AZD's girl, and Wolf's girl was a stripper. For stripper relationships, I would have brought a stripper. But it was my girl's birthday, and she found it special. I don't really celebrate birthdays, but she does. So, I only have so much time. She's not I don't see her on Sundays. That's not our schedule. But switched some things around and brought her. And so I had to give her some training or whatever, how to be around, because she's not used to being around girls that may act as loose and loud as strippers might, which they didn't. The girls that came were very well behaved. But also to tame the girl, to tame the stripper, the guy has to be a little bit more just aggressive with his game, versus having a girl that you've had under your thumb for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. She's more in alignment with you, and you don't have to do so much for her to be tamed. You can have, just takes more attention. If you don't get that, like the new girl takes more attention, especially if she's a loud alpha bitch from some fucking strip club in Vegas. So I had to train my girl of how it's going to be because we're in the vehicle with AZD. And AZD's in the front seat. He could be loud. He did a lot of keno with the girl, and I'm in the second seat. So, my girl is, clearly able to see AZD gaming this other girl. And so I had to give her some training beforehand. I leveled up a lot there. And in the vehicle with him, I leveled up a lot because of AZD's demeanor with the girl. I can't just command my girl to, don't pay attention, because sometimes shit catches your attention. That's don't look at a girl with really big cleavage walking by. It's it takes effort. You just do it. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't want my girl being pulled by AZD's game. You know what I mean? Keep your eye on the ball, stay here. So my game had to level up a lot in the second seat. And it's not what you think it is. It's not like I'm running gambits and storytelling or whatever. It's a way of touch. It's a way of conversing, keeping her engaged, but without looking try hard. I leveled up a lot in just all of the non-verbal, because the music was loud. You couldn't even talk to each other in the car. But how do I keep this girl's attention, making it effortless for her? Because I don't want her to have to exert effort to keep her attention on me. That's weird. I should be the kind of guy that just keeps her attention on me. And so I became more and more that kind of guy in the vehicle ride. So that's one of the biggest takeaways for me. I'll decompose it more. Obviously, we're promoting an event. The event is tomorrow night, 5 to 7:30 p.m. So 2.5 hours, AZD lecturing. I'll be asking him questions. Sultan will be asking him questions. And then the string team may have some behind-the-scenes stuff. It depends, because it's girlfriends that we're dealing with. He brought a stripper, but the stripper is his new girlfriend, one of his new girlfriends. So when it comes to girlfriend level girl, he may not want infield and private conversations and things distributed. But if he allows that, then that will be included in the event. Will be some infield. Otherwise, the lecture itself is very powerful. I'll be asking him questions about game, and we'll go over that in a second. I just gave my biggest takeaway, and here in a minute I'll go over some of the questions that will be answered in this event by AZD. But before I do that, I'm going to hand it over to Sultan, maybe some of his big takeaways, and then we'll get into some of the questions that we may be asking AZD to clarify, because we're intimate in the car with him, in the game, in field with him, his date. We see things that we either don't understand or we don't understand how to do ourselves. Because what he's doing has 10 girlfriends. He's doing it pretty effortlessly. I'll zip it now and hand it over to Sultan. He's got to unmute from... Yeah, go ahead and unmute the Zoom.
Unmute on Zoom. There's an echo, of course. We good?
Yeah. I lowered the volume on the laptop so it doesn't echo as much. Maybe 10. The 3 guys didn't go in the show because they were stream team. Yeah, maybe 9.
So most of the time, about 10 people total, say 10. And I will say that there's times where I was practicing keeping her attention. I'll be like, when I was in line, I got all the tickets for everybody, right? Everybody paid for the tickets, but I purchased all of them under one account. So I'm waiting in line with my girl, and some guy like strikes up a conversation with me. He asked me like, "Who's that guy with all the tattoos?" He asked me, and you know, if you're not trained socially, that's probably gonna catch you off guard. And your girl, if she's standing with you, she might answer the guy, or she might start engaging with the guy. So you have to know how to handle it where she doesn't start engaging with that guy. This girl, I personally didn't care if she engaged with this fucking random dude or not. It didn't matter to me. But if it was a girl that I was actually into, like I was gonna pick a girlfriend, then yeah, it would be a little different. But I pretended it as if it was that. And this guy is like saying, like, you know, who's that guy? I told him, look up hashtag IMC Nation. I'm not gonna sit there and explain where he is in the fucking line. So I told him, I said, just look up the hashtag IMC Nation. And then he started striking up more conversation with me. But I can tell he's talking to me so he can talk to the girl. I know he's trying to get to her by talking to me. It's so obvious. Like, he's DHVing. He said that he fucking filmed this, did that, and he travels here for work. I'm like, bro, I can tell exactly what you're doing right now. It's not gonna work. He's just not good at it. Like, your DHVs are so bad. It's obvious what you're doing. Like, so you're probably doing the same thing. You're trying to DHV. You're demonstrating high value. But all you're doing is bragging. And anyone with any intelligence will be able to pick up that, especially a woman, because she's trained to, she'll pick up this guy that's trying to fucking show off. And if she's trying to brag and talk about his accolades. So, again, that's the art of DHV. So I just admire, give him some admiration or whatever. That's what he wants. He wants some admiration. My girl doesn't say anything to him. I don't tell this girl I don't give her any instructions. I don't say don't talk to guys, do not talk to guys. I don't say anything. I don't tell her anything about any rules. I give her 0 rules because this is probably the second time she's been around the group, and I'm not taking her seriously enough to even give her any rules. So she can do whatever the fuck she wants in that case. But there's also been a certain level of, like, I've gamed her to a certain level where she's at a certain level, but she's also not hooked, like AZD said. I haven't hooked her yet. So her attention was on some of the other guys in the group. I was very aware of that. And when you go out frequently, especially when you go out with AZD, you will start to pick up on cues. So when you're with your girl, you will know when she's giving attention to another guy. Not because she says, oh, that guy over there is blah, blah, blah. No. You just can feel she just hooked a fucking line to that guy over there. And then she pulled it away. She detached it. And then she hooked it back on you. Or she hooked it on him and she has hooked on you. But you can pick up just through her body language and the vibe. You just get it. It made sense, right? Direction she's facing, body language, like it just all makes sense. And that became more clear to me last night how much of a heightened perception I have in field by just having her there. Because I went on these dates with guys and not brought a girl, and it's totally different. That's why AZD always suggests bring a girl if you can, because you learn a lot more because you have her. Because your attention's on the group, and then your attention's also on her. And then like if you're leading, your attention's on leading the group. So you have to multitask your awareness, you could say. At least that's what I experienced last night. So that was some of the takeaways. Of course, there's more to say on it, but keep it brief. And I think you're going to go with some questions, I think you said, or some of the talking points.
Yeah. Yeah, let me look at this really quick. Well, there's a lot of things that happened last night, and, you know, one of the things that is invisible is AZ. Let me make sure. Oh, I'm muted on Zoom. Sorry. So one of the things that was, not very visible was that AZD had set up 2 dates last night, and one of them, it was like an either or, and being really transparent with what one was a slightly more established girlfriend. They're both girlfriends. Like, what does that mean? You're my girlfriend. Am I your man? Yes. Okay, say it in front of all my friends. Am I your man? Yes. Are you my woman? Yes. Okay. And like that, go get a girl. First, get a girl to say yes to being your girlfriend. Then get a girl to say yes to being your girlfriend in front of your friends, and that you're her man. Get her to say yes to that. Okay, that's legit. Never mind that he did it on the first night he met her within 2 hours and she's beautiful. Okay, add all of that in. Now make sure that she knows you have 9 other girlfriends. Okay, now you're like, whoa, that's a really difficult thing to measure. So assuming you can measure all of that, one girlfriend was more established, of like a month and a half. They've been in a relationship, so not much more established, but she's been on like 3-4 dates with us as a group. And there's something that happens when you go on these double dates as a group. There's a lot of power, man. The woman submit. Even my woman is more submissive to me. Man, there was a moment, I don't know if Sultan caught it in the vehicle right when we got in, before AZD got in, that my bitch got dark about something, and I was like, playfully teasing her, like, I measure everything inside of you more than you measure inside of you, I said to her. And she snapped out of it real quick. But, having the other guys around, like just one-on-one, that could become a problem. But, having the group around, it's very interesting. I actually have to try less hard to correct her, which may be the reason why she doesn't go super dark. When I'm one-on-one with her, I probably go too hard at her. And just like which I wouldn't do around my friends. So maybe that's something clicking in me right now to soften up when I'm one-on-one with her, as if my friends were watching, as if my friends were around. Maybe I'd create less problems for myself. Not that she's a problem. I mean, I'm just extremely demanding. Just the same way I am, like, Saber, sign the fuck up. Mike Costa, sign the fuck up. What are you guys doing? Like, that's kind of how I am with my relationship, too. So if I disturb you guys a little bit, I probably disturb her a lot. And she gets it more than everybody. So, how to so the more established girl had to be informed about what may be happening with the new girl, because she was already confirmed for the date. Then the new girl came on board, and it was like, hey, this other girl, she's going on the date. If she flakes, then you're on my date. If she doesn't flake, then you're coming over that. And he has this whole arrangement, like, just hearing how he breaks down his communication with multiple women about each other, about, I have a date with both of you tonight, but I'm only going with one of you, so if she flakes, then you, and if she doesn't, then you, and the whole arrangement. How he does that. The logic, like the words of it, but it's the tonality. That's the thing, like, let's say you're a computer programmer. There's the language that makes it work, and if you have the word even one letter off, the whole code doesn't work. But there's nothing in computer coding about the tonality. How do you type it? What if you type the code angrily? It still works the same. What if you type the code sadly? Still the same. What if you're happy? Still the same. But that's not how interpersonal communications are. You could have the words to the perfect letter, but if you say it wrong, then it doesn't go right. So hearing how AZD breaks it down and his delivery of it is going to enlighten you to how to ethically talk about multiple relationships with the relationships. It doesn't really matter how you talk about it outside of your relationships. Nobody gives a fuck. You shouldn't even be talking about multiple relationships outside of your relationships. But when a girl starts to really start to liking you and she's getting involved in your life and you already have relationships, you're going to have to it's going to blow up the longer you don't say something like and the timing of that's very important, and that takes wisdom. You know, you'll fuck up 100 times. Take it from me, you're going to fuck up. So just you got to get through that if you want that lifestyle, this lifestyle. So how AZD does that, you know, and it's very interesting. By the end of the night, he essentially goes through a breakup, actually. And so how do you break up with a new girl that on your first date, she's your girlfriend? I mean, it's legit, man. The way she's acting, she's not the hoe from the club. She's not acting ratchet. She's acting graceful. She's isolated with him. She's not interacting with other guys. She's not throwing eyes or attention anywhere. Like, she's behaving like... It's not like he paid her to come out. He just paid for the ticket. The fucking show ticket. I paid for the show ticket for my girl, too. That doesn't make her a hoe, you know what I mean? That's my date. So, she's behaving like a relationship. Super cool. She even came over to the house beforehand. So how do you pick up a girl who's one of the top girls at a club? You don't have to go to a strip club. Go to a fucking any club. Go to a club and pick up one of the girls that's hired to work there. She's beautiful because that's why she got hired. No girls got hired unless she's like some butch businesswoman that's like a boss. We're not talking about her. That's 1 in 100. The rest of them are hired for their beauty and hospitality and friendliness and flirtatiousness and everything. Get one of them on the first night to be your girlfriend, and then get her on your first hangout, the first time you hang out outside of her work, coming to your house, hanging out with you in your bedroom. I doubt, it's not my mine to say, but I doubt they had sex. I just doubt it. I don't think that they did, and it's not because you couldn't, it's because that's not AZD's game. You don't push sex so fast. Seduce the woman. Make her want it from you. Make her beg you for it before you give it to her. That's how tight you need to be with her, and that's the skill that you need to do that. So how do you get a girl, first time ever joining you outside of the club, to just come straight to your house? Dressed to impress. Knowing you got multiple girls and all this and that. Like, what happened there? What's the game there? That's what I want to ask AZD about. That's one of the questions. So, both of those questions, like how do you get her there? How do you, what was talked about with the other girls about your plans for the night? Even to his main girlfriends. Like, what's the comm lines? How do you, like, I have the opportunity, I paid $500 to be in the back seat. $250 for me, $250 for my girl. Sultan paid $250 to be in the back seat. Plus we paid for the tickets to go to the event. I paid to be there for my own experience. Now I'm able to put on an event with AZD where I can pick his brain about exactly what I want to pick his brain about. It's my fucking event. Now Sultan's there, it's his fucking event too. So I'm going to ask him about, if he's willing to share, what was his communications to the main girlfriends, to the other new girlfriends, if any, about the date. Because that's how I can triangulate or locate his delivery and the words and how he organizes shit so that I can maybe create something like that for myself in my own way. And then, of course, going into the breakup, I think he's going to go into that anyway because it was pretty, like everything, is pretty spectacular how he goes through things. It wasn't an aggressive breakup, it wasn't loud, and it may not be an official breakup. We'll see. You know, time will tell. And so I want to know about that event. And it's about standards. When you guys have standards, if you get disrespected even a little bit, like I said, if you're one-on-one with a girl, you may put up with it. But if you're around your tribe or your friends, you may not have friends. But if you had friends, I didn't have friends before IMC. I had guys that like were friendly, but like nobody I could go on a date with my girl and his girl. Like we didn't. And if we did, it would have been completely lame, boring, no game. You know what I'm saying? So if you're around your friends, if you have friends and you're around them and you're dating, man, it's like plugging in a guitar to an amplifier when she's rude to you. It like makes it really loud. You know what I mean? You feel violated in front of your friends. So standards, how to handle that, that's what that question is essentially, going to cover. Like how you went through the breakup with her. Because they were still very respectful. She was not in agreement about cameras or whatever because everything's recorded. And, she was a good woman. Held his hand on the way out, walked respectfully, didn't get loud, obviously was having a problem with something, contained herself. For that reason, I think she could still be a girlfriend. because that's the behavior of someone. Because you can't prevent a girl from having negative feelings sometimes. She feels bad about shit. So at least act like you're my woman until we get out of this venue, so that you're not publicly displaying like you're upset at me or something. That's righteous in that sense. Anyway, even if she's a fucking ratchet stripper, like that's how you hold power. If you have disagreement with your man and you're in public at his workplace, don't show it. Hold hands, wait until you get home, then talk about it. Cool. So hopefully that gives you an idea of some of the questions I'll ask him. I'm going to hand it over to Sultan. Is there anything on your mind what you'll be picking his brain about?
Testing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, I want to say, because, there's probably guys that are watching this or watching this later, or even on Instagram, that, you don't have a girlfriend, maybe you haven't been on a date in a long time. So I'm also looking at the perspective of people like that.
Dang.
Like, I'm looking at this whole thing from the different perspectives, and because then you got guys that like going on dates every day, and you guys that have never been on dates. You got guys that are like going maybe here or there, going on a date, but it's like nothing's really happening. So I see this event, and really, because AZD's done quite a few of these events, and they're all different because the girls are different, and the way he got them is different, and his beingness when he got them is different. So he's always giving a different perspective on each of these events. And when I put myself in the position of somebody who would say doesn't go on dates, when I hear, if I'm in the event, I don't go on dates, I'm hearing somebody who's having the experience that I want. And by hearing them talk about it, I can hack their experience and get their experience. Now, I'm not saying by listening to the event you're going to be easy level, but some stripper one night. Maybe it'll give you some piece of the puzzle, but what I really see happening for people that are just brand new to this is you get the reference of what it would be like to be at that level or somewhere near it, and we would be the closest ones to that, like the guys in the car. We'd be the closest ones because not only we go to all these events, but we were the closest to him last night when he was on the stage. Other than his girl, but as far as students go. So the questions that we ask and the answers that he gives is coming from the perspective of, I'm assuming by you watching this and studying AZD, you want his experience or your own version of it at least. So you're not going to get that if you don't hear how he talks about it and the answers that he gives to the questions we asked about his date. You're not going to get to that level where you're close to it if you don't hear his response to the questions that Yogi Chris is going to ask, or the questions that I'm going to ask. So even if you're not getting dates, the event is more than worth it. Because at some point, I'm assuming you don't want to be alone forever. You don't want to be a fucking loser forever. So you would want to hear his answers. So when you do get to that point, you have the answer, because this event is not like it's not like a reoccurring thing. It's a one-off event. It's not a boot camp. And the things that he talks about in this event will only be in this event. It's not going to be something he's going to share later. It's a specific event for this specific date with that girl that he got in it was 3 hours of conversation. She came to his house for the first date, and they go on like a legit date, the first time they hang out with the pack, the tribe, and then he ends up breaking up with her because he's not tolerating her, he's not going to tolerate her disrespect or this bullshit that she brings up, and we don't know what it was, but he breaks up with her. But not break up fighting, arguing, yelling, and fucking cussing at each other. No, it was just like a fucking man, like a man would break up with a woman, and you're not going to get that reference anywhere else. So that's my take on it for somebody who is maybe new to studying AZD, or you've been around for a long time and you're just getting back into AZD or something like that. Whatever. The event is for everybody. That's the point I'm making. You're gonna benefit tremendously, even though you're not having dates, because it's gonna help you get to that level. Because you need to know the language and the state of mind to be able to go on a date with a girl at that caliber. We're talking to a dancer from one of the top clubs in Las Vegas. So that's my piece on it.
sure, that's good. It really, triggers a lot in my mind. It makes sense. You know, if you guys are getting dates, you need to be on the game class. If you're not on the game daily class, if you're already getting dates, it's just everything just Sultan just said. If you're already getting dates, this event is for you. If you're not getting dates, this event is for you. But if you're not getting dates, why aren't you on the daily mentorship with AZD? Because that's going to fill in a lot of the gaps, especially when it comes to the pickup. Because to get a date, you got to pick a girl up somehow. It may not be, and it's most likely not what you think it is. Because this isn't, if you go to YouTube and type in pickup, it looks nothing like what those guys do. It's nothing like what those guys say. The only similarity is we're interacting with a woman. That's it. Everything else, it doesn't sound the same. We don't have the same frames of mind. We don't operate the same. We're in tribes. We're in packs. We're like wolves out there. It's just not the same. So you could use whatever methods you have to pick up a girl. Okay, then when you go on a date, it'll vibe somewhat because the information that AZD shares is true. It's true on the male-female nature. It's aligned with natural law. And, like Alex Kane and I were talking on his orientation call about yoga and kundalini yoga. Like, the natural law of male-female dynamics is how AZD operates. That's why I consider him a yogi. It's what I would call social yoga. A whole new branch. Social yogi. Social yoga. But if you're picking up girls with systems outside of IMC Nation, a different system of pickup, you are, from the very first moment you communicate with the girl, you're operating from different frames or different perspectives on how to date, what the woman means to you, what this means to you, the situation means to you, the trajectory you're going, etc., etc. It's different. And when it comes to then getting on the date, if you use this information from AZD's event tomorrow, which right now I'm just tentatively calling Multiple Relationships 101. Multiple Relationships 101. I might call it double dating with AZD. I don't know what I'll call it, but it's essentially what it is. And, well, you're going to find it's a little bit of it's what we call incongruency. So you'll have these upgraded frames of mind from AZD's event, but you picked up the girl with lower frames of mind using someone else's pickup. Still will work, still will be very, very useful for you. You may come into some headaches and some frustrations that you weren't aware of, but that's because your whole system of pickup is fucked. If you want AZD's system of pickup, which aligns with, his system of dating, he's very integrated. His system of dating aligns with his system of seduction. His system of seduction aligns with his system of relationships, which aligns with his system of multiple relationships. He is aligned. So then, having multiple relationships, his pickup is aligned with multiple relationships. Most people's pickup is aligned with no relationships. So it's not aligned. That's why they're going the path of least resistance, compromising their integrity left and right to try to get some pussy. That's their system of pickup. And when you have this system of pickup, the other system of pickup is very obvious. It's just obvious. When you learn how to shoot a basketball with correct form, you can tell everybody's sloppy form. But to everybody else who has no form, the fact that the ball went in the basket is like, oh, he's got good form. Bro, he got lucky. Bro, it's not good form. So, yeah, that's what I'd say about. And then I really like what Sultan was saying about, it's this video, it's 4 or 5 minute video I made yesterday and I put in the Telegram group. What is the value of communication skills? I mean, it's worthless if you never communicate. So like to Saber, the game, AZD's game, it's not worth anything if he's not in the game. If you're not interacting with women, what good is learning how to interact with women? Unless you plan on interacting with women. Then you could see there's some future value to it. Again, when you find yourself on that first date, you finally picked up a beautiful woman and you're so excited about going on the first date, that's when you'll wish you took AZD's dating event. You're like, oh fuck, what do I do now? That's what he covered in one of the first dating events like a month ago called How to Date a 10. How to Date a 10. Soon, we'll package all of these events together. Yes, it'll be like $1,000. Yes, you'll get 10 lectures. That'll be 2 hours each. That'll just break down. Bro, the dude had 6 girlfriends. Now he has 10. He has 4 new girlfriends. 4 new girlfriends. Girl, legit. You're my woman? Yes, agree in front of my friends. Am I your man? Yes, agree in front of my friends. He's had like 8 to 10 new girlfriends in Vegas. It's just you already broke up with some of them. You're like, well, how legit is it if he just breaks up with them right away? Bro, that's the standard. That's how you have 6 girlfriends. 6 of his girlfriends didn't break up. He had 7. One of them did, but she was with him for like 5, 6, 7 years. I doubt she's covered it. Has his name tattooed over her like 9 different places, big on her eyebrow. Arash Dibazar. You know what I mean? That's going to be a pain in the ass to cover. So it was totally not foreseen that she would just. I mean, nobody covers themselves with tattoos and then with the intention of leaving. You know what I mean? So some shit happened, whatever. I tell you, the darkness and the psychology, the dark psychology of women is much deeper, thicker, more sinister, more evil than you are imagining. You're not even imagining it as evil as it really is. You think I'm exaggerating. It's worse than you think. So yes, even the top player on earth, a girl of 5 or 6 or 7 years, broke up, whatever. He's got 6 other girlfriends of multiple years, a couple of them multiple decades, and then picked up 4 or 8 to 10 new girlfriends or whatever. So his standards and ethics, I mean, it's out of this world really, when it comes to women. So the distinction between guys that get dates versus guys that don't, and how this will help them. The value of communication. It's valueless if you're not communicating, but if you are, it's hella valuable. When you don't know how to help that person, that family member, or you don't know how to seduce the woman, but she's your friend, but you just don't know how to make her want you, or you attracted her, but you don't know how to make her trust you. She doesn't seem to trust you enough to hang out one-on-one, or open up to you, or be affectionate with you. It's like, how do I do this? That's when the value of the communication skill, I mean, it'll save you hours and a lot of frustration. And then the idea of the righteous breakup. How to have standards where even on the first date, even when you like the girl, if she doesn't act ethically with you according to your ethics, how do you break up with her? A lot of guys wouldn't do that. Most guys wouldn't do that. You don't have the standards that you get a girl that's pretty that you like and you finally got her on a date. She says or does something just slightly off. Do you have the standards to not just right away break up with her, but question her on it? She doesn't answer the question her a little harder. She doesn't answer it. Give her the ultimatum, like, you can't be with me if you're not going to be able to communicate about this. You can't be cloaking your disagreement with me, hiding it so that you can resent me later. That's not how I operate. You got to voice it now, or this is going no further. She tries, she can't get it, whatever. How I don't want to say she tries, but to the point where it's like, okay, now it's no longer righteous for me to be with you because this is for whatever reason. And even that, asking AZD, what are the reasons why you couldn't tolerate that? Why was it so below your standards and not right for that girl to stay with you that you had to go ahead and break up with her on your first date with her? Even though she obviously held your hand on the way out, like she was respectful to your audience and your guys. What was so bad that you just, on the first date, you break up with her? Because if you guys had those standards, you would do better with women. You would get your heart less wrapped up with women. Because that's going to affect everything. If you have drama in your life with women, it's going to affect your business, your family relationships, how you pet your dog, everything. If you start having relationship shit going on. So the ethics and standards of relationships are so that you don't get stuck in the mud in some toxic situations with each other. A lot of people don't even address that until it's way too late. They're already in like deep conflict, years of karmic entangling, where they're just like, each problem they resolve unveils a deeper problem that they never addressed. And then they solve that in a deeper problem. They never want to address it because it's just layers upon layers. They'd rather just brush it under the carpet. But that's a really weak, fragile relationship. So, and that's not the way to do this lifestyle. That's just not what it is. So, man, I could keep going. I think we'll wrap it up here soon. I'll give Sultan the last word. Guys, the link for me is in the bio right now. You could sign up for it. It's $97 as early bird. It's 2.5 hours tomorrow evening Pacific time. You get the recording, and any behind the scenes that we can put together and give to you, we'll give you those also. Also, I'll take note to the event, and that's what it is. It goes up to $197 after the event is over. So you got about 24 hours to sign up for it. Any other gold nuggets, Sultan?
Yeah, last thing here with fuck, there's a lot. I mean, you have to ask yourself, what is the value of communication to you? Because your life is running off of your relationships, and the more relationships you have, the more life. And to me, and that's how I perceive it. The more life you have, if you look at it, you have no. Let's say you have no friends, no family. I mean, what is that? That's like miserable. Like someone who has no friends and no family, you can't lie to me and say that you're having a great fucking time and you're excited. How? You don't have anybody to share it. Even if you have a lot of money, you have no one to share it with. You don't have any friends, you have no women, you have no family members, you have no friends to share it with. And that's the value of your relationships. So being able to communicate and continue relationships, but then also be able to break relationships righteously and not get butthurt and fucking emotional about it, like how AZD handled this girlfriend last night, how he broke up with her. And to me, that's priceless. It's priceless to learn this because you're learning how to communicate at the end of the day. And the reason you're suffering is because you don't know how to communicate. Just because you got a girl's phone number, just because you had sex with her, just because she likes you and hangs out with you and she comes back to you because you know how to have good dick, that's what guys say. That don't mean anything, bro. That's like all like goo gaga kindergarten, like baby brain fucking language. So that stuff is kindergarten to this. Like you're barely starting kindergarten thinking like that, thinking that she's gonna come back because you have good dick, or you have something that you think she can't get, but whatever you think you have, she can get somewhere else because you don't know how to communicate. And I'm not saying communication is the only thing that's going to keep her. No, girls can definitely leave and they cheat on you, whatever. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's the value of your communication, or how much do you value communication? Because it's not just with the girl, it's your parents. Like, how much would it be worth to you to fix any relationship that you have in your life, including your parents? What if you could fix the quality of the relationship with your parents? What if you could fix it? Because if they're still alive, you can't fix it. Assuming the relationship is only on negative terms because of verbal shit. I mean, if they physically abuse you, like, that's a different story. But if we're talking like verbal, like disagreements, like, what if you could solve those relationships? But you can't. What if you had an ex-girlfriend that you want to get back together with and you don't know how to? You can't. Why? Because I've done it. Doing Chris. I mean, everyone here has done it. Most of the guys have done it. Guys that are high level have done it. Why? Because we know how to communicate. And there's levels to communication. It's not like you come to one AZD event and now you're like the perfect communicator and you're gonna get fucking every girl of your dreams and you're like number one in the world. That's not how it works. It's just like, if you want to get a degree in something, you don't go to class for fucking 1 week. That's not how it works. And you get a degree. No. That's a scam. You're buying like snake oil when you buy that shit. Like these fucking seminars, you go get the hypnosis therapy in 1 week. Bro, come on. Free hypnosis fucking certification in 1 week. You're not a hypnotist, bro. You're a fucking scam. You're a scam artist. So the event, it's really bottom for me. Like what I perceive through these events is my quality of communication improves. So my quality of interaction in field with women improve. The way I move improves through my communication because I'm able to communicate more clearly and more effectively, so I don't have to think about what I'm going to say. Whereas another guy is sitting there trying to figure it out in his head of what to say here and how to handle the multiple girlfriends. Okay, if she asks me about other women, that means I have to have these lines ready. Well, good luck, bro. Have all those lines ready and watch none of them work for you because they're just lines. You memorized a bunch of lines that you heard some other guys say, and it's not going to work because the internal structure is not what the lines are delivering. Your inside doesn't match the words that you're speaking. So when you talk to her and you say whatever you say to her, even if it's not about multiple girls, let's say you tell a girl that you're a master BDSM artist, whatever the guys say. Well, bro, you're not a master BDSM artist. she's not gonna believe you because it's bullshit. You're lying, and she can fucking pick that up from a mile away. So it's the quality of your communication that improves through these events, and not only that, but you get the state of mind from a man who can make a woman fall in love with him in a 2.5-hour conversation. From the first time meeting her, after a 2.5-hour conversation at her work, she falls in love with him. That's who you're paying to listen from someone like that. Like, just make sure that's clear for you. That's what you're paying for. You're paying to ask questions and listen to the state of mind of a man who can make a woman fall in love 2.5 hours. I think one time it was an hour or an hour and a half. So that's what you're paying for. You're not paying to fucking learn how to fucking do some lines. No, you're paying for the state of mind and the communication skills to bridge the gap from where you started or wherever the fuck you're at to where AZD is, or your own version of what he's doing. Because maybe you don't want 10 girlfriends, maybe you want 4, maybe you want 3. Like some guys, I mean, you probably can't even handle 10 girlfriends right now. Some guys can barely handle 1. So you have to see where you're at with it. And yeah, the event is tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well said, brother. That's great, everybody. So contact one of us, and I'll see you on the next one. Guys on TikTok and YouTube, I'm going to stay on and answer some of your questions. Salute everybody on Instagram. And Sultan, thanks for your time. Os. Be the best. Fuck the rest. IMC Nation. Seth, the Zoom link is in the Telegram group, so if you're in one of our Telegram groups, that's where we had put it. Guys, message us about the Telegram groups if you want to be in our groups. Okay, so guys on TikTok, I don't know if the people that have written the questions are still there. Same on YouTube, but I'm going to look at some of your questions. By the way, Toby, if you're still on, where are you, man? I see you commenting on this YouTube channel all the time. Like, why aren't you in class? Why don't we have more regular communication? Are you on Instagram? Are you on my newsletter? You've been around for a while, so I don't know what's going on with you and why you're not studying this game. It's not enough just to be watching the YouTube. This is promo stuff. I'm a minister of IMC Nation talking about it, but if you want the game is by AZD. Go back to streams at night with the real ones. Need to witness. There's a playlist of streams at night, so you guys on this channel you can go and see infield streams. I don't know how many, but several, like 20 to 30 different streams, some of them over an hour, where we're infield with AZD and dialoguing around the table with a bunch of guys. And you hear how that communication goes. It's like Goodfellas. We're like mobsters. But of the game. We're mobsters of the game. Check the picture on the wall. Yeah, bro, we see it. Trying to convey this is like talking to ice. Good on upgrading to plug and play, Chris. Okay, that was supposed to be off camera. Randy, John quote. Okay, has anybody seen the start of us? No. The thing about being in the kingdom of darkness, blah, 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 blah. Toby, okay, go forgive your mother. Yeah. Do you want to learn Swedish? No. Is this dude in that twin flame stuff? No. It's okay to go teach yourself. I will forgive my mom. You scared of women? Go, yeah. You have nothing to negative, mean-spirited comments. Yeah, they are kind of mean. But he needs to learn the game. Toby needs to learn the game, and Randy, you need to learn the game too. Randy, I'm glad I have been the light that exposed your darkness. Okay. The one true God is the one who, okay, yes, get from fictional. Why does everybody talk about Jesus on this channel? I don't understand it. Who talking always worked for me, just not long-term relationships that get boring. Both people, that's because you need the game. You need AZD's game. What's the benefit of a woman being with you long-term if she has her own paths in life? We don't own none of it anyway, brother. The benefit of a woman being with you in long term is the pleasure and the support that she can give your purpose. She can nurture it like a baby. It just takes seduction. Bro, look over here, blah, blah, blah. Let me guess, New Age. No, I don't know what that is. Yogi Thug, yes. That's dope painting. Toby, if they got print. Valuing others, much, blah, 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 blah. Because it starts with experience. Yes. Okay, I don't live in the U.S. My guy, I live in Mexico. We got plenty of guys in Mexico. It's online, bro. It's an online program. There's guys all over the world. In so many different countries. Clyde, you ain't never had a girlfriend. Okay, sure. I sent the Bible thumper running. Okay. Hi, glad to see. Okay. So I'll wrap it up on TikTok questions. And then you guys on YouTube, get involved. If you're not on my newsletter, get on the newsletter. Get involved with the classes. So let's see here. TikTok. There, I saw some questions. Okay. Let's see. Emojis can give you some clues, though. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see these other comments. Oh, right on. Neil shared. Can I join so I can talk to you about this? By the way, this is an old photo of me. Are you still on? Doesn't look like you're still on. Otherwise, I would have said yes. But you can also come to Zoom. So if, well, you won't see this, but I'll take a picture of this and maybe message you later. We have a Telegram group where I post the Zoom links for these like podcasts. Come on. Why should I join? To learn the game, bro, so that you can be free of the hex of women, and get your game in life right. Because one of the biggest mistakes a man will make is choosing the wrong partner, and he will. You will. Let's hear Chris talk. Yes, give Chris the mic. Okay, I got it. How does this help your career? Well, it's really looking at the opportunity cost. If you don't know game, then you're gonna hurt your career because you don't know how to interact with women, and it's gonna fuck with you. You're gonna at some point try to interact with women. You're gonna try to pick up a girl, try to have a relationship, maybe even try to get married, and it's gonna ruin your career. So if you don't know game, like I was saying in the stream, standards and ethics, codes of ethics, and ways of communicating with women, you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot, and that's gonna hurt your career. So that's why you need game, because you can't avoid the game. You're not going to be able to just like not play the game of life. You got to play the game of life. So knowing that, now what? Learn game. Quit avoiding it. Join up. The link is in the bio, or DM me with any questions. Guys, thank you for joining. J Guru Dev, be the best, fuck the rest. Os.